The president, in 12 minutes yesterday, managed to both be incoherent and to defame the Republican caucus as the source of all evil at the border. What did you make of his amnesty declaration yesterday?
Well, this president is just doing everything he can, it seems, to destroy America. Open the doors. We have a wide open border. You've seen murders now happening. You saw the one just north of Baltimore. This is a president who is making it easier to come to this country illegally and is undermining the rule of law continually. It is a real threat to our democracy. He is, to me, the greatest threat to the democracy and the future of the country.
Now, Senator, he took time, one of his moments of coherence. He said, I'm doing this because the Republicans in the Senate, they sent a conservative senator over and they wouldn't pass it. He's talking about Senator Lankford got the best deal he could. It wasn't good enough for the conference. It had not 1 mile of wall in it. Do you get angry when you're defamed this way? Because he's just lying about you guys.
Well, that's exactly what this guy is doing. Look, I'm not sure when he talks if he knows exactly what he's saying or just reading from the teleprompter words that other people are putting up there. But clearly this is an administration that no matter what law we pass, he's not going to follow it. They are a lawless administration. We've seen it at the border. This has just been this invasion. 10 million illegal immigrants here. We know the terrorists among us. You saw the arrests last week. And the Democrats don't have a plan to keep us safe and don't seem to care about keeping our country safe. And that's why I'm in Ohio today, your home state, with Bernie Moreno traveling around the state of Wyoming. We need to get more elected Republicans into the Senate. And that's why I'm working so hard to make sure we get a Republican majority come next year to help President Trump secure the border, finish the wall, stop this catch and release program that the Biden administration has, and get back to a policy that worked for President Trump, which was remain in Mexico.
You know, Bernie's got sparkle, and I'm looking forward to talking to him next hour. I'm glad you're there helping him. But let me ask you, our audience may not know that our future Republican whip in the Senate is also a doctor. Now, I know doctors don't diagnose from a distance, but if your family member acted as President Biden has over the past week at the G6.5, because he was hardly there, and the freeze at Juneteenth and the mumbling yesterday and all we've seen, what would you be saying to your family members about what you needed to do to figure out what was going on?
No, well, number one, I would say, you need to have this person examined, looked at, tested, and just to see if there's anything we can do to help the family member. But what we see with the President of the United States is clearly somebody who's diminished. I worked with him when he was in the Senate. We were on the Foreign Relations Committee together. This isn't the same guy. Lindsey Graham talks about things he used to do with Joe Biden. He said, this isn't the guy that he knew back then, and that's what we're dealing with now. But clearly, Hugh, in terms of the next 4 years, there is no way in the world that this president is going to be able to do the jobs and the responsibilities needed of the leader of the free world. If he were a carton of milk, he's past his sell-by date, and it's not going to get any better.
Now, I'm very concerned about the next 7 months, but let's talk about the next 7 years. We need a Republican majority in the Senate to reform the Department of Defense, get serious about the border, get serious about DOD. I think we got 10 seats in play. Hung Kao won in Virginia. He's 10th on my list. But from the gimme in West Virginia with Governor Justice down to Hung Kao, there are 8 in between there, including Bernie and Dave McCormick and Tim Sheehy and Kerry Lake and Sam Brown. How do you feel, Senator Barrasso, about those 10 possibles?
We have really great candidates all across the country. And last night I was with Nella Domenici, the daughter of former Senator Pete Domenici from New Mexico. She's running in New Mexico.
Oh, that's 11.
She has a great shot as well.
Oh, that's 11. I didn't know that.
Yes. So a great job of recruitment of candidates, by Steve Daines. We've all been working in a unified way. We met with President Trump just the other day. We had him with our conference. We were unified behind President Trump, unified to try to get these very strong candidates elected all across the country. And I'm going to spend the next number of months between now and November in states with our candidates, trying to help them in every way that I can so we have a very strong majority, because President Trump's going to need it. He's going to need
Senator,
it.
I often tell people to give to Daines via the NRSC.org. National Republican Senatorial Committee is NRSC.org. Is that the best way for people to help the Republicans? Because then they can put the money where it gets the most return in the closest races?
Well, I think it is. I think also if you can give directly to the candidates, through WinRed, all of those things help. Money that goes directly to the candidates that you support helps the NRSC, helps anything that you do. And if you live in any of those states, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We have really great opportunities, as you pointed out, in 10 states to do pickup races where we have strong candidates, strong belief, equal opportunity, not equal outcome, effort versus existence, all of the things that make a difference in people's lives. But we know the Democrats right now, they are the party of high prices and open borders, and we need to elect people that will focus on our borders and getting costs down for families all across the country.